The temporal accord was humanity's greatest achievement. A treaty forged to ensure time's flow remained untouched by greed and folly. Yet in the shadow of its grand ideals, rogue scientists had found ways to break the rules. They called themselves the Fracturists, wielding forbidden technology that could split a single moment into countless alternate realities. At first, their creations were small, failed experiment rerouted to success, a dying loved one revived in a new thread of existence. But as their ambitions grew, so did the consequences. Entire timelines were carved from stolen seconds. Realities spun off like splinters from a fractured pane of glass. Wealth, power, and immortality could be seized in one reality, while another absorbed the costs of entropy and decay. To the Fracturists, their work was freedom, a triumph over the limitations of linear time. To Solène Weil, an enforcer for the temporal accord, it was a crime against existence itself. Solène had spent years chasing rumors of the Fracturists, her pursuit a lonely trek through the labyrinthine corridors of the multiverse. Her breakthrough came when a fissure opened in the heart of Concordia Prime, the Nexus city where all timelines converged. People vanished mid-sentence, replaced by echoes of themselves from fractured realities. Buildings shimmered, their architecture twisting between familiar and alien forms. Solène knew it was no natural anomaly. Following the fissure's trail, she discovered a hidden lab embedded in a forgotten timeline. Its occupants, 5 scientists led by the enigmatic Dr. Kasra Nile, were unrepentant. They believed the multiverse was infinite, its fabric strong enough to bear their manipulations. Their machines hummed with raw temporal energy, and on their monitors were glimpses of their exploits. Empires built in stolen timelines, disasters averted for a price, and fractured worlds where they played gods. Solène confronted them, but Kasra countered with a chilling revelation. The fractures, he claimed, were not the cause of the multiverse's instability but its saviors. According to his research, time was already unraveling. A natural entropy accelerated by humanity's meddling long before the Fracturists. Their technology, he argued, created new realities to sustain the dying web. Without their intervention, the entire multiverse would collapse into singularity. Yet Solène's instincts told her otherwise. As she delved deeper into their records, she uncovered the truth. Each fracture weakened the barriers between realities, causing timelines to bleed into one another. The multiverse wasn't healing, it was disintegrating. Solène demanded they shut down their operations, but the Fracturists refused. A tense standoff ensued, shattering into chaos when one of the scientists activated their core fracturing device in desperation. The machine roared to life, and the lab became a storm of overlapping moments, a kaleidoscope of what-ifs and might-have-beens. Caught in the maelstrom, Solène experienced fragments of her own fractured existence. A version of herself where she'd joined the Fracturists, another where she'd lost everyone she loved, and a third where she had never been born. Each glimpse was a temptation, a reminder of how easily time could be bent to one's desires. But amidst the chaos, she found a single thread of clarity, a reality where the fractures were mended, and the multiverse stabilized. It required a reset, an unmaking of every fractured reality the scientists had created, and a restoration of time's natural flow. To achieve it, she would have to sacrifice the rogue timelines, including her own. Solène confronted Kasra one final time, urging him to see reason. He hesitated, torn between ambition and the undeniable evidence of the damage they had wrought. In the end, he relented, helping her recalibrate the device for a singularity reset. As the machine surged, Solène felt her existence unravel. The fractured realities collapsed, folding back into the multiverse's original fabric. She glimpsed the lives she'd never live, the choices that would vanish into oblivion, and the echoes of the Fracturists, now lost to time. When the storm settled, Solène stood alone in a world that felt both familiar and strange. The fractures were gone, the multiverse whole once more. Yet she bore the scars of what had been, a reminder that time, though fragile, demanded guardians willing to surrender everything to preserve its balance. She walked away from the remnants of the lab, her duty clear. The clock was whole again, but its ticking carried a warning. Humanity's mastery of time was not a right, but a responsibility, one that could never be taken lightly.